772-515-5144. Tell them that we sent you. Maybe we get a little something if you win big. Remember us. All right? We sent you there. Possibly you. And then our next kind of sponsor that we've been doing is our Salute to Service. Last week, Colin gave us a rousing discussion about Pat Tillman. It was really good, super interesting. And this week, Opal here's got Alejandro Villanueva. I'm super excited to hear about this. I got a little bit of a sneak peek of it. This guy's career is insane.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Take it away. Tell us all about it.
Right on. So Alejandro Villanueva, he was born at a naval air station in Meridian, Mississippi, on September 22nd, 1988. So he's been around military his whole life. His father was a Spanish Navy officer, and he was working for NATO, so he was stationed in the United States. Villanueva's got a rich history growing up. He's grown up all around the world, United States, Europe. He grew up in Belgium as well. That's where he learned to play American football. When he was old enough, he attended West Point Army College, where he was a 6'9" receiver in college. You know what I mean? He's 6'9". He's a big guy. He played receiver, D-tackle, and O-line while all in college. I will say one thing that I saw. Army did not beat Navy any of those years he went there. So he was 0 for 4 in the Army-Navy game, that's a little tough. But in 2010, after he was done with college, he did enter the NFL draft, where he went undrafted. But then he was signed by the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was cut. And then he went on his first tour in Afghanistan, where he did have 3 tours overall. But after the first one, he came back to America. He tried out for the Bears and was cut. So this is twice now. He's been rejected by the NFL, and he goes back to the military because this is just what he knows. He served in the United States Army's 10th Mountain Division in the 75th Ranger Regiment. He reached captain, which is a pretty nice rank. Yeah, that's very impressive. While he was with the 10th Mountain Division, it was his first deployment in Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. He was a rifle platoon leader. He actually was there was like a gathering of elders in this village, and he approached with a couple of his men in his platoon, and it was actually an ambush set up by the Taliban, and they engaged fire on them. Yes, so he's faced live fire. During that, Specialist Martin Pagot was shot in the kneecap. Sergeant Roy Dutton was shot in the back of the leg, and Army Private First Class Jesse Dietrich was shot near the armpit. And under heavy fire, Villanueva was able to get Dietrich to safety and a medic. He unfortunately did pass away, Jesse Dietrich did. But Villanueva was able to get back into the line of fire, and he was able to carry Martin Pagot on his shoulder to a nearby school where they waited for evac, for a helicopter that would get them out of the situation. And for that act of courage, he was awarded the Bronze Star, which is for saving people in the line of fire. So that's just, he's willing to put his life for his men. You know, he felt that he was the leader, and I mean, he was, and he did everything that he could, and that's just outrageous courage to go back in. And I mean, you know, when it's to that moment, to go do exactly what he was trained.
To know you're under attack.
And go save these guys. Yeah, that's just outstanding commitment. He served 5 years in the military, and when he was finally done, he came back to the United States to try to pursue his NFL dream. Everything he learned overseas, and when he was at West Point, he put it all together. He came back with no coach, no agent or trainer, but besides, it was just him and his work ethic and what he knew that he could do. He put in work, and he spent $400 for an NFL combine, and he impressed so well at that combine. There was a second one that he was invited to for the players that looked good. And in 2014, the Eagles signed him in the offseason for the preseason. He signed as a DN there, and in the preseason they played the Steelers, and he was just on the sideline, and Mike Tomlin goes, "Who is that guy? He's 6'9". He's enamored with this guy." So he's keeping his eye on him during the offseason, and the Eagles cut him. He was a DN, he wasn't performing that well, and he cut him, and Tomlin said, "We got to go get this guy." Makes the GM of the Steelers go get him, where he signed as a D tackle, but they immediately switched him to left tackle. So completely the opposite side of the ball in the NFL, where it matters most.
Something he's never done before.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a receiver in college, and then a
D-tackle.
defensive lineman at
exactly.
the NFL level.
He ends up becoming an excellent left tackle, two-time Pro Bowler, 7-year career. He ended up actually signing with the Ravens, though, division rival. It was a 2-year deal, only lasted 1 year, though, but still 7-year career in the NFL after having served 5 years in the military. Just chased his dream when he came home, and you love to see that. One thing that I saw for Alejandro Villanueva, one foundation he's an ambassador of, It's the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, and you can find that website at specialops.org, specialops.org. It's just a foundation for warriors that were in special operations. They just take care. It's basically anything they need medically wise. So it's pretty cool foundation.
Cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's cool that he's an ambassador of it. You know what I'm saying? Just adopting the role after the career he had in the military and NFL, continues to give back.
Right.
And that is the Alejandro Villanueva salute to service.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, no,
what a stud.
Crazy career, crazy life.
Left tackle is a premier position in the NFL. Like, that's one of those positions where if you get it set, you're good.
Yeah, 100%. And this guy comes off, the street, really.
Right,
He's coming back from overseas.
He was literally off the street. Like, they cut him. So he
exactly.
had nothing to do, nothing. And Mike Tomlin's like, let's give this guy a shot. I really am a fan of what Mike Tomlin's done. I can say that because Sage isn't here.
Yeah.
He's never been under 500 in his career as a head coach. It just seems like he just finds these guys and they're just
100%.
studs. And
like
just
locker
studs.
room leader, probably the moment he was there, guys look up to this guy like, holy cow, like
he's
just what he's done.
Captain,
literally. No, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Good for him, man. Just to run back into that, like you would hope that you have courage to do that.
Exactly.
Like, not to liken what he did to comedy, but like Forrest Gump running back into the fire to pull more people out. Like, that is not something most people would do.
No.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm getting shot at and I get one dude out of there, I'm like, all right, I did my part.
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
When you truly know, like, what the situation is,
right.
If I'm going out there, like, there's a good chance I'm going to
die. Getting shot.
Yeah, potentially die.
Right.
And he goes out there and saves more lives. It's just very impressive.
Another Villanueva story-ish act I liked, not to get too political, but whenever all the kneeling and like we're staying in the locker room
I remember that.
during the anthem to like, we're not going to kneel on the field, we're just not going to come out to the field.
Yeah,
he was the only there by himself in the tunnel.
Stood in the tunnel there. Yeah,
just because he was big enough to look over everything.
Right,
from
he's
the
tall
tunnel.
enough, you can see everything he needs to.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was someone that just was like a pro's pro. I feel like he showed up, did his job very well, and then went home. You never heard anything out of him. He never got in any trouble. Just an absolute. He was part of those Steelers teams that you knew were going to win 10 to 12 games a year.
Killer bees.
Yep, killer bees. Yep, you're just going to go win some games and maybe make a run. Never know. And good for him just to come back and do that. And follow your dream like that. I mean, you've been cut 3 times.
Yeah, I know.
But, and then he paid to go to a combine. Wonder if he can still do that. We should go. We've been throwing the ball pretty well recently. We've been pretty well recently.
Tell me.
No chance. But I love it. Nice job. That's awesome. What a stud.